Hey guys, welcome to Wrench to Drive. This is my DIY crawler series. I'm doing a video here on wheels and tires, and I'm going to start out, give you a little bit of information about wheels and tires for noobs, guys, people with very little knowledge or experience. If you just want to see the latest and greatest deals on wheels and tires and a quick look at some of what's out there right now in 2021, feel free to jump ahead. So what we're starting out with here, guys, is a picture of a 1.9-inch crawler wheel right here, guys, with a super cheap Super Swamper tire on it. What I wanted to point out, guys, is that your typical touring car 1.9 wheel is essentially the same size, guys. I could glue this tire onto this wheel and it would, kind of sort of work. Now the reason we don't want to do that, guys, is glued tires on rims like this typically don't stay glued on very long on a crawler, guys. So we use bead lock wheels, and I'll show you how a bead lock wheel works in a couple seconds here, guys. I just wanted to point out that the 1.9-inch wheel size is super common, guys. Okay? So pay attention to that. Now another couple of common sizes you're going to see are 2.2-inch wheels, which are for 10 scale crawlers, guys, and you gotta get 2.2-inch tires obviously to go with those. Typically more expensive, guys, and I don't have any of those because I'm kind of cheap and I don't really need them. But like typically on something like an axial Capra, you might want to run 2.2s. You can definitely run them on a lot of 10 scale crawlers, but it's a bit of an adventure whether or not they'll fit in the wheel wells and whatnot, because they are bigger, guys, and typically the tires are bigger. All right. Then again, just another picture here. This is a 1.9-inch crawler wheel. This is a 1.9-inch touring car wheel. So you can see very similar in size, obviously, guys. And the touring car wheel actually potentially gives you a little more room inside there. Anyways, the other thing, guys, if you use plastic touring car wheels, the hexes are going to get eaten up on a crawler, period. They won't hold up to that crawler abuse, guys. Alright, now this is a short course truck tire, guys. So this inside part is 2.2, guys, and the outside part is 1.9. Notice 12mm hex. Yes, you can run short course truck wheels and tires on a crawler. Surprise, surprise. Now the only risk you have, guys, is that the hexes are not going to hold up super well. Being this is a plastic wheel, guys. And I haven't tried this, but hey, I mean, if you're feeling wild and crazy, guys, you could run a short course truck tire on a crawler. Not advised. I think it's going to chew up that hex on a whim, guys. Just showing you that, these are things you can do if you really want to, guys. And as you can see, very similar size. Now, what that also means is that depending on the short course truck you have, you might actually be able to run some crawler wheels and tires on it. Now they're big and heavy, they're going to hurt your performance. It's not something you necessarily want to do, but just for fun and games, it's something that is, conceivable. Alright, now these are those cheap Super Swamper, guys, and you can get a set of these for about 22 bucks Canadian right now. I'll show you that deal in a second here. And these are some super cheap. I got these for about $26 Canadian, beadlock wheels and tires, guys. And this is something to look out for, guys. This style has a whole bunch of little screws all the way around, and then it's got a center cap that you can screw in place, and it's got this very same thing on the inside, guys. Over here, if you look, you can see same deal on the inside. Lots of screws, guys. That is the downside. Okay, so there's also beadlock tires that don't use nearly as many screws, and if you lack patience, or you don't like this notion of having to put these things together, I would strongly encourage getting a set with less screws. And one bit of advice that I would like to pass on is, a lot of times you can get a deal where you get a set of wheels and tires, and the tires are already installed, guys. They've been put together for you, even with all these bajillion screws, guys. Personally, I have gone that route once. I will not go that route again, because these are put together in a factory in China. They use power tools. If they over tighten these little screws, it's very easy to wreck the heads. The ones that I got, one might come apart out of 4. The other 3, no chance, guys. Too many screws are mangled. A guy needs to get in there and do some surgery if he wants to get them apart, guys, and have fresh screws to put in there. Not ideal. So my nickel's worth is get them, put them together yourself. At least then you know who to blame. Take that for what you will. Also, therefore, my advice: get the ones with less screws. It's much less work. If you're going to put these together yourself for a set of 4, budget yourself at least a couple hours, guys. It does take a while. Oh, and to keep these screws from rattling loose, what I use is B7000. It's kind of an industrial adhesive. You use it for gluing cell phone stuff together too, which is why I initially had it. It's actually pretty handy. It's a lot like rubber cement, and you just put a little bit in each hole, really easy, and then you screw the screw in, and it's not as strong as Loctite. Basically, it just keeps them from rattling loose. I find it works really well, guys. It's not that hard to get them out if you use it, and it just gives enough that they don't rattle loose super easy, guys. So that's my nickel's worth there. Loctite is a little overkill in my opinion, guys, and the heads on these screws are a little bit weak. So if you use Loctite, you're definitely taking your chances that you won't be able to get them apart down the road. Now that being said, guys, if you're new to this hobby, these tires don't wear out very fast, and I mean, you're going to get a lot of miles out of them, guys. You can run a set of these wheels and tires for a long time before you need to get a new set, or change tires or whatever. So I don't know, how big an issue is it? By the time you need a new set of tires, you're probably thinking it might be nice to have a new set of wheels, give your crawler a kind of an updated look anyway. And they're not crazy expensive, guys, as I'll show you in a couple minutes here, but it's up to you. Anyways, that's a little bit of information on the tech side of things. Oh, and the center caps that come with this style of wheel, guys, they go on with screws, and that means that your wheel nut is behind the center cap, guys. Personally, I find that more trouble than it's worth, because inevitably you make a boo-boo, or just one of these cheap nuts comes loose, and then you got to get the center cap off, and then it's a pain, guys. I'm not a huge fan of that. Now the upside, it keeps you from losing a wheel nut, but it's not ideal, guys. I don't put them on, generally speaking, like for the winter, when it's going to sit on the shelf queen scenario, guys, okay, but when I'm out driving, I don't really like using those center caps. Maybe that's just me. Feel free to share your nickel's worth in the comments. This is another set of Injora Super Swampers, guys. These are also very inexpensive. Typically they were over $30 when I bought these. I like these tires. They work really good. They're a much more square kind of profile to the tread. This picture doesn't show it very well. Sorry about that, guys. I actually couldn't find these for sale right now, so they might be becoming less common. Tires come and go, guys. I personally am a big believer in just buy the cheap ones, because unless you're doing some competition type scenario crawling, does the performance really matter? There's not that big a difference in my opinion, guys. But whatever. If you think I'm wrong, that's fine. This is the stock set of tires that comes with the Red Cat Gen 8, guys. These are my personal favorite wheels, guys. I really like these, even with all these stupid screws, guys. I love the look of these. This gold looks really good with the orange on the Red Cat, guys. In this picture, it actually looks a little more out of match than it does in real life, guys. These tires are not bad, guys. They're quite hard, and the foams in them are also very, very firm, guys. And I'll show you a little bit about foams as we move along, but I'm not a big believer that foams are the be-all and end-all, guys. Typically there's kind of soft foams. There's like memory foam, which is what's in these, and then there's two-stage foams that have soft foam on the outside, harder foam on the inside to give you a more realistic driving experience. I personally haven't used two-stage foams, and I find it kind of hard to believe that it's that noticeable, guys. What is really noticeable is if you have a very hard tire with stiff sidewall, stiff tread, that's very noticeable, guys. A much softer, more pliable tire, that makes a big difference. That is worth paying attention to. And most of the Chinese tires are pretty soft. They're they tend not to be super firm in my experience, guys. There might be some firm ones out there, so don't hold me to that, but the ones I've used have been quite soft, guys. These Red Cat ones are a little firmer. And then you add those stiff foams, guys, and they've definitely got a different style of grip to them, guys. Anyways, these are my personal favorite. I really like those wheels, guys. These are just those standard ones. These were available on Amazon. I've got, I think, 3 sets of these if I recall correctly. I got them all well under $30 a set, guys. Super cheap, and it was basically a case of they were so cheap. It was like, well, how can I pass that up? Like, you know, just if you need a set of wheels and tires, how can you go wrong for 26, 27 bucks? So keep an eye out, guys. There's deals to be had from time to time. And you know, the only downside is the blue whatchamacallits, bead locks, which I don't mind them, but do they necessarily match with the body you're going to use? Maybe not. Keep in mind, pretty easy to paint these, guys. Also, you can strip off the anodizing with oven cleaner. I have not gotten around to trying that myself, guys, mostly because I'm lazy, but if you do a little Google search on that, it does indeed work. Oven cleaner, anodizing, something like that, you'll find the information. Alright, now this is another style of tire. This is like an old school stamped steel wheel style of bead lock, guys, and these ones are put together with just the screws in the middle, which is really nice. Now the only downside to these is that the beads of the tires themselves have to be a small bead. Those tires that come with the Red Cat have a big bead, and I have a previous video talking about that, where these wheels would not work with those tires, guys. When you try to tighten it up, it just squirts the bead right on out. And you can see that this is not very square, guys. It's kind of an angled I don't know, pinch setup there. Doesn't work, guys. So beware, if you're going to use these, you got to use them with a set of tires that they'll actually work with. And if you go with the cheap Endure or Super Swampers, you're probably fine, guys. One technical note, guys, the one tool you're going to need to put together wheels and tires is a 1.5mm Allen wrench, guys, and you want to make sure that you got one that fits the screws that come with your wheels and tires very nicely. And if you're new to the hobby, all wrenches are not created equal. Some fit better, some fit worse, some screws. You got a wrench that fits, you know, 90% of screws really well, and then you got some screws that are a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller head or whatever. And you have another Allen wrench that fits them better, guys. If you're like me, you got a bunch of Allen wrenches kicking around, right? You got a whole bunch because you've been in the hobby for a long time, so you have options. Well, if you're new to the hobby and you only have one 1.5mm Allen wrench, guys, keep in mind that anytime you see some nickel and dime part and it actually comes with Allen wrenches or an Allen wrench, just order that as a spare. That way you got another Allen wrench, guys, because they do vary and the quality is not all the same. It's an adventure, guys, and the one tool that's going to come in handy is something that can grind, because inevitably the 1.5, the 2mm to some extent, the little Allen wrenches, they get rounded off fairly easily, guys. And the nice thing about just an Allen key style wrench is you can just grind it down. You grind off about 1 millimeter, you're back in business, guys. Got a nice shiny Allen wrench. Don't have to buy a new one. And that's where, when you get an Allen wrench that fits 90% of screws really snugly, just perfect, guard that one with your life, right? And always remember, you can grind a little off and freshen that bad boy up. Trust me, that's part of the game, guys. That is part of being able to wrench on these things and have success. Right, so 1.5mm Allen wrench, that's the only tool you really need to worry about. And if you are putting together a set of wheels and your Allen wrench is a little dodgy, just make sure you don't try to over tighten those screws, guys. Just snug them up, and if you use a little B7000 glue, Loctite, again, like I said, you just got to be careful with Loctite because it can make them unremovable, or it is risky. It's a little more risky, guys. The B7000 just grips enough that they don't rattle loose, but not so much that they're hard to get out. That's been my experience anyways. And you can play around with it a little bit, guys. Like if you want to get a handle on the technique, just run a screw in with whatever you want to use to make sure that it doesn't rattle loose, and just you know, let it dry for 24 hours and then see how tight it is. right? That's how you learn. And you know, how much do you need to put in? Like, play around a little bit, right? Like, don't commit right on that first go. I know we all get excited and we want to put stuff together, but you know, playing around a little bit can be the difference between everything works great and everything's a big cluster. So there you go. That's the one tool tip you need. Alright guys, we're going to take a little break for a quick second here and look at a really quick deal on something that I stumbled on. This is a bargain, guys, and I'll tell you why. You may be thinking $23 plus $4.50 in shipping and handling for this fancy schmancy engine here. This is a cover for the motor in your crawler, guys. That seems like, yeah, it's not super cheap, guys. 30 bucks. Yeah, whatever. It's super detailed. Where the deal really comes in, guys, comes with 2 fans. Regardless of how cheap a fan you're getting, guys, you cannot get these little fans for less than about 7 bucks, 8 bucks. So right there, you're getting 15 bucks worth of fans. You're paying 15 bucks for this motor, guys. And to me, this motor's really cool. I mean, this thing just looks fantastic. Like, look at this. So detailed, guys. Got the injectors and the spark plug wires, intake, fuel runners, heads. Really detailed, guys. And it's got the cooling fans. That's pretty sweet. Look at that detail, guys. Sits on your motor. Something like the Red Cat, this should fit really well. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't used it, but you know, it should work okay. It might need to do a little bit of surgery. There's a picture of it installed, guys. Only thing to note, does not come with the air cleaner, as far as I can tell, guys. So that's a little bit of a nuisance, a little bit annoying, but whatever. Still a pretty good deal, guys. Like I said, I don't know what it's like where you live, but you can't get fans for super cheap. Also comes in the silver version, guys. The only difference is the color of the heads. So there you go. That's just a little quick tip on a deal you might be interested in, guys. And I'll put links to all these goodies in the summary below, guys. All right, back to tires. Back to tires. So as I mentioned, you can get a set of wheels and tires for a really reasonable price, guys. These are $66.50 roughly, free shipping to Canada. Keep in mind, guys, tiny Canadian pesos are the Canadian dollar is pathetically low, guys. Typically, this is going to be less than $50 American. And I'm going to talk Canadian dollars for the rest of the way, guys, but you can knock off at least 20% to get to American dollars. So keep that in mind. These look really spiffy, guys. The only downside, like I said, is if you're getting a set of tires with a whole bunch of little screws around the outside like these, you may not be able to get those apart super easily, guys, if need be. Now these are nice because they have fewer screws in the back. They only have these 6 screws around the outside on the back. That's kind of nice. The hex is also screwed on, which means that if you happen to wreck one, you could indeed change it. So that's kind of handy. Now how easy those are to get, I'm not totally sure. You probably end up buying another set of wheels, but if you like the wheels, having a spare set's not that bad. These style of hexes are very common. All sorts of wheels come with them, as I'll try to make an effort to show you coming up here. So my personal take, guys, I would not buy a set of pre-assembled wheels and tires myself, but the option is there. Just make sure you get a set where you get all the information you could possibly want, guys. And notice these come in different colors. This style, I think, actually looks pretty good, guys. I don't know about you, but I kind of like the style of these. So anyways, that's one set, guys. Now we got those classic, super cheap, super swamper tires, guys. They're 108 millimeters tall, and they're 1.9s, 40 millimeters wide, and look at that, 21.61. A little less than 22 bucks Canadian. That's cheap, guys, so cheap. And these are not bad tires at all, in my opinion, guys. Like, for that money, you can't go wrong. I mean, how bad can they be? And you know, again, in my opinion, not bad at all. Like, for the money, cheap. Now these foams, do they have a picture of the foams? They come with a, yeah, here we go. So these foams, this is pretty standard, guys. This is just a regular old, you know, kind of bargain basement foam. Works just fine, guys. Like, I find these tires to be pretty decent. They're very soft. They really bite on jagged surfaces. You know, so you get a real good purchase. You know, if anything, You know, if you're not able to get up with these, it's really just the tread. They do tend to get a little slipperier as they get dirty, guys, and you can rejuvenate these very easily. You just wash them, and if you just use a rag and you just wipe some WD-40 onto them, or squirt a little WD-40 and kind of wipe off the excess. The WD-40 it really softens them up again and gets them biting like new again, guys. All right, so this is another set of Injora cheapos. This is a new style. I don't actually have any of these, but again, they're really inexpensive, guys. These are 116 millimeters tall, so a little bit bigger. 42 millimeters wide, a little bit wider. Very aggressive looking. 26 bucks, right? Pretty good deal, guys. So that's what I'm trying to point out here, guys. Cheap Chinese tires, really good prices, guys. Like at my local hobby store, not even close, guys. Not even close. All right. This is that other style of tire I was talking about, guys. These are 120 millimeter, 1.9 inch tires. Got squared off cut, got a real aggressive tread, lots of little grabbers. These work pretty well, guys. They've got the same soft style of foams. They're a little firmer, not a whole lot firmer, so a little firmer than those cheap Super Swampers with the big lugs, guys. A little wider. Really good, guys. 30 bucks is a good deal. 30 bucks with shipping. Not too long ago, these were more like 35. So if you need a set, this is a good price, guys. And 120 is a little taller, a little bigger. If you want a real big tire, these are the way to go, guys. So then we get into these steel wheel style beadlocks, guys. And this is a style that I personally really like because they remind me of my old 68 Ford half-ton pickup truck that I drove back in the day, guys. All those old 60s trucks, 70s trucks, people were running around with these sorts of wheels on them willy-nilly in my younger years, guys. So I got a soft spot for these. If you don't, that's cool. And I'm going to show you another set here that shows how they go together, in case you're not familiar with beadlocks, guys. But these are a little pricey here. $36.50 is a little on the pricey side for these. You can typically find them a little cheaper than that. And like I said, you do have to be careful with the tires you use with these. You got to make sure they got the small beads. Otherwise, they will squirt out. You won't be able to put them together, guys. These are very, very similar. I think these will work a little bit better, depending on the beads. But that's just that's speculation. It looks like these are a little more squared off, like they'll grab a little more aggressively, guys. So that's something to think about. Maybe, maybe not. Again, just a different style of steel wheel. A little bit more. Oh no, sorry, I was going to say a little cheaper, but they're actually not, because these ones you got to pay shipping. So again, 37 bucks. A little pricey. Upside, they only take 6 screws to put together, so that takes much less time and effort to put them together. And here's a shot of how these go together, guys. So it's all these metal ones are the same. Inner piece, outer piece. I don't know what you call that. Clamping ring in the middle, and then the hex. So pretty handy, guys. I like this style a lot too. A little fancier looking. They come in different types: chrome, white, kind of charcoal gray, and black. Pretty sporty, guys. These are nice wheels. They actually look really good in person, guys. I definitely like them. Again, got to be careful with the beads, style of bead on the tires with these. That's the only downside. All right, these have been around for a long time. This is actually kind of pricey, all things considered, because I got a set of these with tires for $45 Canadian, guys. Holy cheap like borscht. That's actually the set where I learned my lesson about wrecked screws, guys. The ones that I got them pre-assembled, and only one can even remotely be taken apart, guys. The other 3, not a chance. Too many mangled screws, guys. Now, the reason I'm showing these, guys, is the reason I bought them was because they were super cheap, and I needed a set of wheels. So I ordered a set of these, guys, and I have to say, I don't mind the look of them in this picture, guys. These wheels and tires look much better in person to me. I don't know why, guys. I can't quantify it. It's one of those things. It's just a personal opinion, guys. But these look really nice in person, much better than I thought, guys. And even a picture. I could show you a picture on the crawler, guys. In the picture, I don't think they look as spiffy. Like when you see them in person, they actually look better, guys, in my opinion. Now, another dimension to pay attention to on crawler wheels and tires, guys, is this overall width. If you're getting a set of tires that's wider, guys, you can get they vary from about 25, 26 to 32-ish. So quite a big difference, guys. Keep that in mind. These ones purely for looks. They, like I said, I think they look better in person. This is a little on the pricey side, but they're pretty nice, guys, and less screws, guys. Less screws, so much easier to put together. These are a relatively new style. They're very similar to those ones I showed you that I really like. Just oh, actually, maybe these are them. There's different versions of these, guys. You gotta be careful. The cutouts are the difference, guys. See how these aren't round? They're this kind of funky shape. That's what I like about them, guys. I think they look really cool. And at first glance, I thought these were the ones with the round cutouts, but they come in all kinds of different colors, as you can see. These are a slightly different style. They come with the pinch ring, and then there's a much bigger body and an outer ring, and then the center hub. So slightly different, but same concept, guys. And these do work with big bead tires, guys. And notice these are 30 millimeters wide, a little bit bigger. Really good wheels, guys, in my opinion. And to me, this is a good price, guys. 44 bucks. These definitely were one of the pricier wheels a while back. So not bad. Anything in the $40 to $50 range, guys, is a decent deal. If you like the wheels, guys, you're not going to go too far wrong. You're not going to find them like, you know, half price. Like worst case scenario, you're going to find them for maybe 30. Probably not the color you want, unless the color you want happens to be the color that nobody else wants. You know what I mean? So, you know, not bad, guys. And again, I really like these. They work well with any style of tire, guys. So in my experience, anyways, no promises. But yeah, really nice wheels. This is a new style, guys. 46 bucks. These look really sharp, in my opinion, guys. And again, 5 screws. Much less work putting these together, guys. Let's see if we have to put any in the back. Probably do. Yep. So again, 5 screws in the back. That's a huge advantage, guys. Much less time required to put them together. And these are a fairly narrow 27 millimeter, more on the narrow side than the wide side. But they should work just fine. Take note of that inside dimension, guys, which is 40 millimeters. That does look kind of small, guys. So these might be a little dodgy on some crawlers. Definitely something you might need to pay attention to, guys. So that's something to consider. One of the things they do not give you is the offset to the hex, guys. That is not provided with a lot of these. Sorry, I don't have. I measured the ones that I have, and I don't have that information handy. Do they have? Nope, no offset here. So that's something to pay attention to. If you can find a YouTube video of somebody running a set of the wheels that you like on a crawler that you have, that'll give you the typically the answer, guys. I love these, guys. To me, these are a smoking good deal. 41 bucks basically. Look at these bad boys. Oh my goodness! Like if you want a kind of an overly fancy wheel, come on, are you kidding me? I love these things. To me, these are such a schwanky looking wheel, guys. And again, the little screws on the outside just for show, guys. Just for show. See how they're attached with looks like 6 screws on the inside. Much easier to put together. They do have the center caps if you like them. To me, that's one downside to these guys, is these center caps look really cool. And me being lazy and not liking center caps, I would actually have to put these on because they look so cool. But again, I would use these wheels on on kind of a shelf queen, guys, on a truck that's built for show. And again, keep in mind, a little narrower, guys, might be a little dodgy with some tires, guys. But if you go with the Enjoras, you should be fine. Something to pay attention to. I just dig these, guys. I think they look really good. And $41, that's not expensive, guys. That's a good deal. This is another new style. You see these all over the place, guys. I'm not sure if I would buy these, but I do kind of like them. I'd have to see them on a vehicle. To me, I don't love them, just the look of them. I could see them looking really good on a Jeep. on one of these Injora Jeep bodies that you see all over the place, guys. They come in the silver, the red, and the black. Pretty spiffy, guys. And I believe, yeah, these are really wide, guys. These are 32 millimeters, so these are on the wider side. And as you can see, 5 screws to put them together, really easy. They come with that standard rear hex, which is removable, so that's handy. Looks like the cover is, how does that cover work? That's interesting. I'm not sure how that cover works, guys. It looks like it must clip on, but, or is it? Boy, if that attaches to the hex, that's really annoying. Which it might, guys. That cover might actually... Or do you put the hex on and then attach the wheel with the screws? Would that ever be goofy? I don't know how these go together, guys. It's hard to tell from these pictures. Huh. I'd be looking for some more information before I did the deep dive into these, and they're a little more on the pricey side, 50 bucks. I love the look of them, like, you know, just objectively, and I might be contradicting myself a little bit. Like, I like the look of these wheels, guys. I don't know if I want to run them on one of my crawlers. Let's put it that way, if that makes any sense. I would want to see them on before I actually, you know, kind of bit the bullet, guys. But just generally, like, looking at them, I really like the look of these wheels, guys. So I don't know. It's a contradiction, guys. Do I want to put them on my car? Not really. Do I like the look of them? Yes, I do. I need to see them on something to make a decision if I really like them or not. Just as a wheel, to me, they look really cool. And so keep in mind this. I don't know. Boy, oh boy, it's really hard to tell. There doesn't look like there's a seam there, guys. So either this little center part just presses on, or this wheel actually has to be attached to the hex, which would be really messed up. So I'm going to move on. These are another style that I have to say I kind of like the look of, guys. I'm a little bit torn. I'm not totally sure, but they look pretty cool, guys. These are middle of the road width, easy to put together. This inside again might be a little on the small side, guys. And it looks like it is indeed. It's only 38.5 millimeters, so that is a little on the small side. Be sure to double check. They come in 3 different styles. This one, I don't know what's up with this. This to me just looks terrible. I mean, that just looks like an old beat up wheel or something. I don't like that. I like the black ones with the silver accents. And I really don't like these either. So I really only like the black ones of these guys. $36.50, not bad price. They look like they'll be easy to put together, so that's a bonus. Again, I'm not 100% sure how these center caps work, guys. And that is something worth considering. It looks like they might just clip in there, guys. Do they show us? No, they don't. Anyways, I don't know. I'm torn on these ones, guys. You can be the judge. These black ones I like, the other ones I definitely don't. So, yeah. Lots of options out there, guys. Lots of options. These are cool. I find it hard to imagine these won't look good. Again, the only downside, lots of little screws to put in, guys. They come in a million different colors. Oh, sorry. So the back, again, they got this center hex and only 6 screws in the back, so that's not quite as bad, guys. It makes a big difference, trust me. The ones with a million screws in the back and the front, it's a lot more work, guys. Just having them in the front, just for show, not as bad. It's definitely an improvement, guys, and they do look really nice. Like those, you know, they got a real authentic look to them, guys. So again, this gold color looks really good. They come in all kinds of different colors. Let's see what we got here. We got gold and black. Oh, so that's gold. This must be like copper and black, white-ish, silver, white, silver and black. Black and silver, black on black, black and red. For what it's worth, guys, I've got a set of those solid center with the ring, guys, and with a big black tire around the outside, guys. This black center silver ring looks really good, guys, really good. And in basically, you know, any crawler you put that on, it's going to look pretty sharp. It's a very kind of neutral approach. If you just want a set of wheels and tires that you can use with anything, guys, I would recommend this black center, silver ring, black tire. It looks good, guys. It looks real, in my opinion, looks really good. Whereas with the black, you kind of lose the ring, guys. It kind of disappears a little bit. It's I guess the colored ring to me looks a little bit better. With the colored center, it's a little different, but I don't know. To me, this is a really nice generic combo, guys. If you just want a set of wheels that you can run on any crawler, you want to get lots of life out of them, guys. That's not a bad way to go. All right, and this is that slightly different style. So this is not those ones I love, but it's the color combo I love. This is the ones with those circle cut, guys. So just a little bit different, but pretty spiffy, guys. I definitely like the look of these. Again, lots of little screws. Same method of assembly, 30 millimeters wide. You got the silver and black. You got it looks like white and black, red, and gold. And this gold looks really nice, guys. Like I said, it looks kind of orange-like. So if you're like me and you have the Red Cat Gen 8 with the orange body, it looks really spiffy with that, guys. Looks sharp. Oh, no center caps with these. That's interesting. Yeah, no center caps. Okay. And they do use that standard rear hex, guys, that you see all over the place. Oh, and these have a lot of clearance, like can't really show it here. That inside diameter is quite wide, guys, so that's nice. Oh, and then we got these. These are what are these? 9-spoke? Let's count. 2, 4, nope, 8-spoke. So these are 8-spoke wheels, guys. These look pretty cool. I kind of like the look of these guys. They got kind of an aggressive look to them. Kind of a tough look to them, to me. Like they kind of have an aggressive, like I don't know how to describe it. I don't know. I like these. So there you go. That's all I'm going to say. I like them. They got a different style center hex, as you can see there, guys. That's another. It's similar. It looks like to those steel wheels, those stamped steel wheel style ones. So it's worth noting, if you're looking for compatibility with other stuff you have, guys, this is not that standard style of hex. It's a little bit different, guys. But again, a pretty cool looking set of wheels, in my opinion. What's the best? It's tough to say. I think I like these gold ones the best, but I guess it depends on your color scheme, guys. And we're back to the motor. So that's it, guys. That is it for the big wheel and tire roundup. And there are all kinds, guys. These are that same style that I like, but black. What else we got here? Another style, kind of cool. Again, just got to make sure you're looking at 1.9s, 2.2s. There are also 1.5s that are for smaller crawlers, and then there are now 1-inch ones you have to pay attention to. Sorry, 1.55s like here. These are for kind of the smaller, cheap Chinese crawler kit type crawlers. There are also 1-inch ones for the SCX24. Make sure you don't get those by accident. They're really cheap. Again, all kinds, guys. There's just an absolute plethora of wheels and tires out there. Oh wow, these are cheap, $30. Can't go wrong for $30, can you? Let's have a look at these. Yeah, so these are the same as those first ones I showed you. Like this style right here, guys. But there's different colors. So if you want a different color, you got a choice here, guys. $32, not bad. Anytime you're getting into that $30 range, guys, that is a bargain. That is a good deal. If you like them, don't think too hard, guys, because $30 is cheap. Let's see, we got any others? All kinds of wheels, all kinds of tires, guys. Again, just pay attention to the details. These are 2.2s. Lots of variety these days, guys. Lots of variety. These are 1.55s. devil's in the details, guys. The devil's in the details. More 1.5s. Yeah, lots of variety coming out these days, guys, so that's nice. So whatever kind of crawler you're into, you're able to find some wheels and tires for it. Alright, that's it for wheels and tires, guys. Hopefully that's useful information for you. Lots of deals out there, lots of options. It's a really nice time to be getting into crawlers, guys. There are so many wheel and tire options out there that it's really ridiculous. Like I said, in my opinion, better to put them together yourself. That way, if you wreck something, at least you know who to blame. And if you pay attention, you should be fine, guys. Alright, that's it for wheels and tires, guys. Thanks for tuning in to Wrench to Drive, where we ask the eternal question: do you drive to wrench, or do you wrench to drive? See you next time.